Memories of the Ford Administration by John Updike is the author's 15th novel, 369 pages, copyright 1992, published just after the whole Rabbit series was over, marking a turn from the extremely present tense and self-engaged Rabbit series to the still self-engaged but also craving history direction of Memories of the Ford Administration. A lot of this book is made up of those tried and true, closely observed nuggets that keep us reading Updike in the first place, but a lot of it is also just these big blocks of highly unorganized text about Buchanan that becomes more disorganized as the text goes on. I do not wish to discount that there are bits of this Buchanan stuff early in the book that are really touching, especially when he imagines what it's like to be Anne Coleman. One girl's dress gets caught in a grate or something and she burns to death. I took the dust jacket off my copy of Memories of the Ford Administration because it's a tacky cover. I didn't like the texture or the color or the graphics of it. No offense to John Gall or whoever designed it, or Chip Kid or whoever. I also got this ink on my cloth which stayed there and I think looks alright. It's a little archipelago of ink there. The plot of the book is basically that an insane guy named Alfred L. Clayton, who seemed to have a lot of sex during the Ford administration, responds to a short answer question by some New England-liking organization by writing this entire 369-page novel that's half about himself and half about President Buchanan. Having a character that wrote a failed book is a good excuse to incorporate a bunch of notes about the topic of that failed book into the novel and have the imperfections serve as meaningful discrepancies for a reader to talk about and think about. The book is concerned with the ways that history can make things happen that the historian wanted to happen and make things not happen that the historian didn't want to happen. And especially as this pertains to people who are guilty of stuff. People who have a lot of skeletons in their closet and so forth. And I really wonder why any reader of Updike such as myself would choose to read an entire novel. I guess they just are enticed by the possibility of an Updike novel working and not coming across as sort of unnecessary and dismal. I guess the prospect of that is so good that we keep on trying and reading novel after novel in the hopes that one of them will succeed and be great. And if one of them is, I'll let you know on this channel. I do recommend his essay books. Sometimes fiction writers, such as Robert Walser, make a really bang-up job out of taking a historical figure through a day they may or may not have had. And sometimes contemporary authors do a really good job of going to an old time and acting like you're that person and going to some party and have a bunch of crazy memories of your childhood in your mind, and they find all these cool fictional structural conceits to put you more in that time and communicate that it's an imperfect chronicle and so forth. You can sense when reading these kinds of Updike books that he wants to write books like Pale Fire, where there's a document written by one of the characters contained in the book, and then the book also allows characters to comment on the document like it's a real found article. It lends realness to the thing that was failed. You want worlds to meld together, and you really want the Buchanan stuff and the normal stuff to meld together in his failed book, his failed marriage, etc. It feel like Borges, where the fiction blends in with reality well, and it's Borges and I, etc. You really wish that Updike could have cut a lot of the book out and made it a slim thing like Of the Farm about families getting together. Like that time where he watches movies late at night and eats junk food with his mom would be so much cooler. In the end, the book starts reading like one of these bigger Updike novels that just kind of wears out my patience. Basically, I have my finger on the fast forward button. There are really beautiful lines in the book that you're gonna want to email to yourself just to keep them on hand. No masterpiece, but hell, what's a masterpiece? I do own these Updike novels that are supposed to be really good. Are these good? I haven't read them yet. I would like to. I plan to read them. That's why I have them. If they are good, please let me know. Drop a comment in the comments section below if you believe in any of these.